It's been a tough year, right? We're all looking forward to getting away and breathing in some fresh air. But where to? Perhaps like us, you don't fancy a city break. Well, this video is for you. We're going to run down the top 10 freshest or cleanest countries in the world, according to the World Health Organization's guidelines, aka the Air Quality Guideline Value. It's a fascinating study. Stay tuned for that. In 2021, one of the biggest threats to our health is air pollution, causing the death of 7 million people every year. It's such an issue, in fact, that the World Health Organization has estimated that 92% of the human population breathes toxic air, with Bangladesh, China, India, and Pakistan sharing the top spots of the 50 most polluted cities in the world. Hotan in China is currently the most polluted city in the world, and Delhi gets the title of the most polluted capital. But let's get straight on to the countries with the cleanest air in the world. At number 10 is Canada. Canada's air quality has improved significantly over the last several decades as their levels of air pollutant emissions continue to improve. Generally, it has been found that this is because of governments working together and finding ways to reduce pollution from vehicles, power plants, and industries across the country. These factors have been massive contributing factors to the pollution that Canadians breathe every day. While some progress has been made to solve this problem, poor air quality remains a serious issue in some areas of Canada. Canadians living in heavily populated and industrialized areas of the country may be exposed to more harmful levels of air pollutants at larger concentration levels, pollutants that can contribute to health issues such as asthma and cardiovascular diseases. They've come a long way, and fingers crossed, Canada will continue to make the changes it needs to improve these pollution levels for everyone. Number 9 goes to Iceland. Iceland is famous for its clear skies and beautiful scenery. And while air quality in Iceland can be affected by food processing, aluminum smelting, the tourism industry, and vehicle emissions, outside of the city, the skies are pretty clear. If you've not had the chance to go to Iceland, it is absolutely worth a visit, whether that's for the northern lights or other epic natural marvels such as the ice caves, glaciers, and volcanoes. Take your camera and go and tick one item off your bucket list. Next up at number 8 is New Zealand. New Zealand has good air quality in most locations for most of the time. However, air quality can be affected in some of the key cities, in which around 53% of the population live. This is affected by a variety of things. Home heating, for instance, is one of the main sources of small polluting particulates in populated areas in the winter. 45% of the households in New Zealand burn solid fuels, coal and wood for home heating, and at the moment, this is a big problem. Fossil fuels are also an issue, affecting the air we breathe and producing greenhouse gases. Transport is the main source of carbon monoxide in New Zealand, with much of the population choosing to own cars. Times are always changing though, and it seems that New Zealanders are doing their part to change the air quality. Number 7 goes to Estonia. The World Health Organization rates Estonia highly and says it has some of the cleanest air in the world, along with countries like Finland and Iceland. This might be because over half of the land there is covered by forest, about 52%. It's the 6th most forested nation in Europe, and experts think that this is one of the key factors contributing to good air quality. Nature reserves cover about a fifth of the wilderness land in Estonia, ensuring that the forests can be preserved for the future. Estonia also ranks extremely high for other factors contributing to a happy life, including internet freedom, economic freedom, press freedom, overall quality of life, and prosperity. This equates to an excellent business climate and more people staying in Estonia, which has the most startups per capita in Europe. Well worth a visit, we think. In at number 6 is Norway. Norway has partnered with the Climate and Clean Air Coalition since 2012, working hard to promote action on climate, clean air, and global warming. And the result has been a massive reduction in nasty air pollution. In 2017, Norway passed the Climate Act to help the country transition to a low-emission society by 2050 and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 40% by 2030. Go Norway! Finland is up next at number 5. Personal air quality monitors have been introduced experimentally in Helsinki, Finland. It's a device that is worn on the arm and is the size of a sports watch, and they are used to measure the levels of carbon monoxide. The main aim of the device is to find out the levels of carbon monoxide caused by traffic emissions, helping the government to make permanent changes and improve the air quality in the long run. Emissions from traffic and small-scale wood burning are the biggest sources of air pollution in cities around Finland, as well as industry, energy production, and agriculture. Next up at number 4, Sweden. Sweden is painfully aware of its issues with harmful pollutants. Although the country has one of Europe's lowest levels of air pollution, each year about 7,600 people die prematurely due to exposure to air pollutants, primarily nitrogen dioxide, according to a new study by the Swedish Environmental Research Institute and Nouméa University. Ongoing urbanization in Sweden means that more people are moving to the cities and a greater number are exposed to high levels of air pollution. Although the overall levels of air pollution seem to be decreasing, decreasing. It seems that the total population exposure to air pollution isn't shifting and is even increasing. Sweden will have to find an answer to some of these issues sooner rather than later. We're in the top 3, and we'd be the first to hop on a flight to our number 3 spot, the U.S. Virgin Islands. Dust from the Sahara and Sahel regions of Africa is one of the main contributing factors to lower air quality in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The winds blowing across the tropical Atlantic bring millions of tons of dust to the Caribbean every year. This dust contains viable bacteria and fungi, nutrients, and persistent organic pollutants. Scientists now study the connections between atmospheric deposition and the health of coral reefs. Generally, though, pollution in the Virgin Islands is ranked extremely low, and satisfaction is rated high or very high. These results cover a range of areas, including air pollution, drinking water pollution, noise and light pollution, water quality, garbage disposal, and satisfaction around spending time in the parks in the city. It sounds like the U.S. Virgin Islands is the place to be. Next up at number 2 is New Caledonia. We can believe that New Caledonia is a pretty great place to live. With its postcard-perfect views, palm-lined beaches, and marine-filled lagoon, the island is surrounded by a massive barrier reef. Locals and tourists alike have said that the quality of life is incredible. There are so many things to do and places to see. The country feels very safe and the views are breathtaking. The small island in the Pacific is located between Tahiti and Fiji and is lined with beautiful beaches and clear water. Although the cost of living is high and getting on and off the island can be pretty hard, it seems like New Caledonia is the ideal place to live for those who are seeking fresh, clean air. And finally, the number 1 spot goes to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico boasts the cleanest air according to the list compiled by the World Health Organization, and the air quality has improved even more during the global health situation, as the Americano News investigated. Researcher Olga Mayol has seen the environmental impact of the stay-at-home measures around the world, the Venice's canals with crystal-clear waters, and a visible Himalayan mountain range, and they back up her own research, a report reads. We have seen how pollution has decreased because we produce it. What are we going to do? Are we going to work on environmental policies that help us improve fuel efficiency? She asked. As a professor of environmental science at the University of Puerto Rico, Mayol led a study in conjunction with the atmospherics chemistry, aerosols, and research that showed a 12% increase in the quality of air in the island. The report continues, we have seen the decrease of carbon monoxide, which is clearly associated with the beginning of the first period of the lockdown. Then for the second, it seems that people were a little less scared and they started going out more and saw a slight increase. We did the measure in Rio Piedras. If we extrapolate to a place with more vehicular traffic or near some source that produces emissions related to combustion, the number will be even more dramatic, said Mayol. Puerto Rico's environment has benefited from the lockdown that started in mid-March. According to the platform Google Global Health Situation Community Mobility reports, the island has had an 87% reduction in mobility. This means there is a significant decrease in carbon emissions. Hopefully, the rest of the world will follow in the footsteps of our cleanest countries. If you're a budding traveler and looking to find some fresh air, the information from the World Health Organization is a great place to start. You can check it out online. Where in the world are you off to next? Are any of our top 10 on your list? Or do you have somewhere else in mind? Let us know in the comments. But for now, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.